You are now watching Sacred Seat TV. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your support. Oh, do I have a special one here for you today. This is the first installment in a new series that I'll be starting on my channel, where I am incorporating what I love, walking the trails, with interviewing other people and finding out their experiences and lessons that they could give us for life. Thanks again for watching. Ever wonder what happens when two paths diverge, then unexpectedly cross again? On trail walks, we're about to find out. Today, I am heading into the woods with someone I haven't seen in about 15 years. My childhood buddy, Alex. We're picking up a conversation that's been on hold for way too long. So get ready for some laughs, some memories, and maybe even a few surprises. I have 5 questions. We just gonna see what happens. So, first one is, okay, so we grew up in the church.
Right.
We always know about God in terms of religion. And so where I am now is I feel like I'm just now getting to know God and establishing an actual relationship with God. And so I would like to know what prompted your spiritual development.
Whew, that is a very multi-layered question. Lord have mercy. Okay. You know what really, I just was talking about this with Aldrich. What really triggered it was Aldrich gave me, like your boyfriend, he gave me a nice little background of just history. Nothing to do with America. He pulled me back to Kemet. He told me about just kind of where we came from. It kind of broke the paradigm of pre-slavery, and it made me realize that life and time and ideologies existed outside of what I know. So he really shattered my mind. It was Anthony Browder.
Okay.
He introduced me to Anthony Browder. And once I understood all that information, it took a minute. It's scary because it takes the veil off of you, right? It shakes your world.
Yes.
It shakes you, and it takes a minute to be like, well, what is reality? Who am I? Okay, if I don't have this, and in my understanding was, I think the biggest thing that got released from me was the savior aspect. That got released of like, okay, so nobody's gonna come and save me. That part took a minute, and I honestly, for a while, because of how we're taught with the church, anything outside of Christianity is deemed devilish. I literally was like, I'm going to go to hell. I was battling myself. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought like demons were going to start coming for me. I just had a huge identity crisis.
Yeah.
Huge.
You had an existential crisis.
I had an yes, it was so scary. So, but I knew the information was real. I knew it to be true. I think it was just so, even to this day, I just have this paradigm to where how you can live in a world and have two completely different, a world within a world. And I'm like, that means that you got your own world, your own beliefs. I got my own world. And guess what? It's all true.
Yeah.
It's true to the person. It's true to how you perceive it. So that started it. Of course, because you own the path and your soul knows what it came here to do. It felt right. It didn't feel anything wrong with it. So I went ahead and started that journey. My husband always say that he started it and I just took the baton and ran with it. Ever since then, I've been addicted to my spirituality, knowing who I am, understanding how we operate in this paradigm, how this paradigm can be shaped by your perception, your beliefs. And it's been an unmolding since, I would believe. He told me that back in 2015 maybe? It was, and then ever since then, it's just been a constant growth. And I feel like the next growth happened when we moved to Orlando. I feel like that was my first, I had my first real awakening. That was then. And I feel like I had a second awakening in 2018. And that's when I really started to do like a lot of deep diving into like shadow work and understanding how to heal myself. So that took a lot out of me because, like I said, you're unfolding all of these masks and all of these identities and all these attachments. I think I'm so driven by the fact that we all came here to do work. We all came here to heal. And I think the biggest thing is authenticity and getting back to what really matters to what matters to you and what feels good for you, not based off of what you were told, how you were taught, how you were raised, like breaking all of those paradigms, all of them. So much so to where I think my biggest paradigm, and I think we can relate on this, is just the parental aspect. This is how a lot of my healing comes in. It's with the parental as far as financial abundance, and it's parental as far as, I like to call it parental enmeshment. I think that's kind of how I've been able to identify it. Enmeshment as far as you don't really have separation from your parents' identities and beliefs. You kind of believe what they believe based off of just being a good child. Remember, like as we said, a good steward, being, devoted to your parents and not really wanting to, it's like you want to please your parents. Yes. So to this day, I'm literally when this conversation had to happen. And it's so beautiful that you brought that question up, because I had to tell my parents, I'm not going to church today. This is the only reason I'm here, because I had to tell them, hey y'all, thanks for inviting me for First Sunday. Actually, oh my goodness, when I get back, I'm gonna have to get the clip and read the message. I think that'd be good for context. But it was basically telling them like, hey, I respect this. I respect y'all, inviting me. Mind you, me and my parents had this whole religion conversation back in about 20. It was tough. You
actually had the conversation.
I had the conversation.
With your parents?
I had the conversation a while ago, and since then we haven't really calibrated to, like, they give me the freedom to just express myself. It's just their beliefs, But I don't think they understand that me not being in church is a bad thing. I think they still think it's a bad thing that I'm not in church. You know what I'm trying to say?
My mom does too.
Okay. So I had to tell my dad, moving forward, I don't want to feel the pressure. I don't want to feel the obligation to show up just because it's First Sunday, to show up because, and I said, that's great. You have your faith, your conviction that works for you, but mind you, I got to figure out what that means for me.
Keyword is
conviction. I got to figure out what my soul is convicted in. And I told him, I said, I'm on this journey. Matter of fact, I told him, go follow my page so you can see how I'm communing. I told him how I commune with myself, how I commune with God, and what this communion looks like for me. So literally, it's still a work in progress, because although I'm very transparent with where I am, it takes a minute for people to catch up to where you are.
Absolutely.
And I realized I have to stop pulling myself down for their comfort. And I'm no longer doing that. I'm like, hey, either you meet me where I am or miss me. I can't really hold that space for you anymore. I've held that space for you for too long. It's exhausting to still try to go to church and to still show up in these ways that just doesn't feel right to me. And it's not that I'm against church, and I told him that I'm not against it, because I think it works. I think any type of commune with God is a beautiful commune, but I want to figure out what works for me.
Right. I think we can relate to that, because I also came into, I call it the knowing, when I was in college. But I knew enough to know that you can't necessarily communicate that with people, because you get excited and you want to tell everybody,
and
they're gonna be looking at you like,
what? You are crazy. Especially like our traditional black Christianity, people just like, if it ain't Jesus, it ain't right.
That part. But I also come to know that there's always truth in everything.
Yes.
And so my approach to, I would say, religion, specifically Christianity at this point, is I am aspiring to have the consciousness of Christ.
Yes. That's it. Yes.
And so what that means is that, you meditate. You that's how you build your relationship with God. You meditate, like you said, go into communion with God. And when you do that, that is how you, as I'm learning, I'm going along and I'm still learning, but that's how you ascend to your highest consciousness.
Absolutely.
So that's my goal in life, like to realize my highest self. And so you can't do that by going to church, doing the same thing over and over again. I ain't trying to say nothing about church, but
it just don't work for you.
You also have to remember, which they might disagree, but it's literally our job to be better than our parents.
Yes.
But that also means to evolve.
To evolve. to evolve is like a huge, I think it's just like this pinnacle point that you can really just, that can go into so many different facets, right?
Right.
I feel like evolution, and we want to shun it a lot of times, I think, just because of tradition and how things are supposed to be. And we can hold certain parts of tradition, but like you said, there's parts that of them from, I think it's just an ego standpoint. I think it's a point of protection that you can't even really kind of help it because you're a parent, right?
Yes.
And you're used to things going your way and
yes.
you know, facilitating things. And when stuff starts to kind of come out of what you're used to, it can be threatening. It's threatening to the ego. It's very threatening, and it can make you. And then that's where we become the bad child, or they're not listening to me, or they're not doing, or why, or what did I do wrong? I remember I told my dad, and he said, "What did I do wrong?" I said, "Daddy, you didn't do anything wrong. You raised a beautiful. You should be so proud to say that you raised a daughter who is so brave enough to go out there and to find her own, to go against the grain, to go against tradition, and to figure out what this walk with God looks like for her."
Right. But it's also, like I said, just evolution. Because your kids are always going to be smarter than you to a certain point, right?
Yeah.
And so they have to make room for that and not be threatened. Realize that, you know, I don't know everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's how it's, this is the blueprint. It's how it's built. This is God's the divine design. Everything is in constant evolution.
Right.
And if you can kind of, you know, have a little bit more, you know, I guess, understanding or faith in that, then it makes the transition easier. And that evolution part, I think what I've done is I've given up trying to like evolve with them, and I'm just like, okay, I can't evolve with them. I have to leave them where they are in a consciousness, just a conscious place.
Right.
Not from love, not from a physical standpoint. Sometimes it's physical too, because you need your space. But consciously, we can't evolve the same way. It doesn't exist. You can't do that. So holding space for their evolution, because I think at a part I felt responsible to involve their mentality with me, and that was burning me out. It was really stressing me out, because I felt like, okay, well, if I'm this, like they call it, quote unquote, black sheep of the family that's supposed to do all this generational healing, okay, well, that means I'm also responsible for their healing, and I've had to separate that and realize, no, everybody, you only are responsible for your own healing.
Yes.
That's one thing I had to let go of, is realizing that I got to be everybody's therapist.
Yes, girl. Eldest daughter syndrome
is tough. Oh my God. So once I let that go, and I was like, oh, okay, I show by example, I show by leading, I show by evolving into.
That's it. But the only thing I can do now is to show you what it looks like to just be better.
Yes.
And just want to be better.
It's so freeing.
That's it.
It's very freeing. It feels good to lead that way.
Yeah. Because you get to be who you are authentically while also trying to figure out who you still are.
Absolutely.
That process never ends. And then they get to see it on display. All of the good and the bad and the ugly and everything else in between.
I've come to realize that because the journey to this type of ascension is so different. I actually wrote my parents a letter too, because I felt like it was one point getting a little tense in the house, because I'm not doing things in a traditional standpoint. So I had to let them know, like, I know my journey looks different. I'm trying to do something different. So in order to do something different, you got to be different. And I wanted them to give me grace and time with that. Give me grace to grow. Give me grace to, you know, just because I'm not getting up in the traditional 9 to 5 and I'm not doing this the way you think and I'm not grinding this way, and you know, that's because I'm trying to build something different. So it takes time. And a lot of times I tell my parents, in the faith that y'all are talking about, this is what it looks like real time. It's not when it's not it's not the extreme of good or bad. It's even when you just when life is boring, you still got to be faithful. When it's diligent, it's not sexy. It's not always sexy. Me showing up for myself and my kids, and this is the work. This is the work. That's the work. And you got to stay on the path. There's times where it goes really up and there's times where it goes down. But a lot of times you just kind of in this limbo stage of figuring it out.
Yes. And you'll never figure it out.
No. You always in the constant, okay, what's next?
But you have to remember that. And that'll help you keep going.
Absolutely.
You're never going to figure everything out. But you have to know that it's happening for your benefit.
Yep.
And
yes,
I'm learning something
yes.
here. What is the lesson?
What's the lesson?
So anytime you go through something hard, you just stop, take a beat. I be talking to God. I talk to God. I be talking to God. I get a little disrespectful sometimes.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Let me know what's happening. Let me know what are you trying to show me, because
what
this is just
you
crazy.
Want me to see?
Yes, yes.
But then a lot of times after I do that, I go into my meditation. And I'll say, when I meditate and I have like a problem or something that I'm thinking about that's like burning me to my core, or I'm worried about, like I always get an answer. Always. It never fails.
Yeah. And that's the Christ consciousness that you're talking about. That's that divinity, to be able to go within yourself and seek God through yourself.
Yes.
That is such a beautiful point, to where I don't have to go get the blessing from pastor. I ain't got to go get the blessing from this person just because they got this education over me. I can go and get this information through God from that is a beautiful to know that you can get those answers like that.
Oh yes, because you can.
Because
why else do you think we can think about something in our mind and then it come into reality?
Yeah, thoughts become things. Yeah.
That's because we're a part of him.
Yes.
That is the aspect that connects us to God.
Absolutely.
But it's for women, it's almost like it's heightened. Because we can also create in our bodies. So
yes.
You coming into, I would say, like, as a wife, I don't know nothing about being a wife, but what I think I know is that, it is our position to be in tune. Yes.
It's a part of your duty.
Yeah.
It's a part of your duty. One thing that me and my husband, we bumped heads about this. I remember at first, because I always was frustrated because he didn't know what I knew. Right? Because I would just be like, well, how come I see this and you don't see this? How come if I'm thinking about this perspective, you don't? Because he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. Right. That's for me to hold and to deliver to him, for him to help me execute. So I had to learn that role as women's intuition. We literally have a sense of guidance that is just so, it's almost prophetic. I mean, and everybody can be, everybody's prophetic. We got the ability and skills. Everybody can. At this point, I believe that everybody has the ability to do anything they want to do, but there is definitely a connection between the womb and the wisdom. Yes. Huge connection between womb and wisdom. I know during my cycles, I realized that is a huge place to be able to download information. I take that part of when I'm on my cycle very sacred. I get a lot of information when I'm on my cycle. Okay. I like to retreat. I like to go in because if you look at the phases of it, that's a part of the phase where God is trying to give you information. A lot of times you're trying to cleanse stuff. That's what you're bleeding for, to cleanse that. All of the lower density, lower vibrations, you're cleansing all that out to receive more information, more guidance. So
come on, Alex.
I love like that time. I'm sacred. I'm like, okay, God, I'm very intentional. I eat different. I fast. I do a lot of stuff because I realize, oh, it's like a super, like, what's that, like Pokemon? Like, you just get so much.
Super Saiyan. Ooh, what is it called? I don't know.
It's so divine, the downloads and what you get. So I remember, I think back in the day, like ancient times, like women were given that space. They would literally like send them off and say, hey guys, y'all go do what y'all need to do if y'all on this time, because they would get the knowing, like you said. They would get the insight of where to go to eat. How do we need to move? What do the men need to do? How do we gather? They would get all that information and come back and give it. It's so sacred.
Right. Yeah. If y'all haven't seen my video on the different phases of your cycle, please check it out. Ooh. I do also talk about the things that you need to be eating and activities that you should be doing during your phase.
Yes, that is so great.
We're here because Alex also has a channel that she needs to
my channel. I'm getting used to this, y'all. But I have started a new YouTube channel. It is Alex Ray Official. There we are talking about all things, I think, evolutionary. I haven't quite gotten my like full description yet because it's really, really new. But it's honestly, I'm in a little bit of a rebirth phase right now too. So that's probably why. It's because Start with one idea, of course, it shifts, it optimizes all the time. But if you're just interested in the stuff that we're talking about and the perception that we're talking about and the energy that we're giving you, check it out. I think you will like it. Follow me on my Instagram page as well, Alex Ray Official. There's a lot of information there as well that you can get. But yeah, we definitely are in a little bit of a reshift phase. I'm excited for this new phase, y'all. So definitely come check me out.
I am too. I have new content coming soon. But it's also like, it's summertime, so I'm kind of taking a break.
Yeah, that part.
Unknowingly.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so the next question is, so I did a video which you talked about on your perspective, and how your perspective is basically your reality. Whatever your perspective is, literally like what you see, right?
Yes.
And what you see is tuned in based on your wavelength that you're putting on.
Yes.
And so you're only going to see what you are.
Yes.
You see what you are.
Yes.
And so I did a video on that. And I just want to talk about, like, as you've gone through the different stages of your life and all of the changes, how do you think your perspective on the world or life has changed?
Whew. Goodness, it changes every day, every minute. Because you know why? Because you can always choose a new reality at like any second.
Right.
You're always, I mean, at the baseline, we're kind of always calibrating in like a nice soft medium. But there's one idea, one thought that can completely shift it, and you're like, whoa, you know, those aha moments, I like to call them.
Yes.
That is a change of reality. That's a change in perspective. But it's changed so much because I'm intentional. I think that's why my perception has changed, because I'm intentional. And I'm kind of aggressive with my spiritual healing. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a little aggressive because I want what I want, because I know I know what we can have.
It's possible.
I know it's possible.
You know it's possible.
And once you know the reality, and you know it's possible, you like, I'm on this thing 24/7.
Right.
Like,
right.
So my perception is, I think my perception is almost like a hyper awareness that I have with my perception, because I realize that because we are in a wavelength that's made up by our emotions, our thoughts, our past, present, and future, I'm always aware of anything that is in discord, because I understand that that's a separation from me and my divine self. And I need to figure out how to say, okay, if I feel this way about something, that's because I'm looking at it not through the eyes of God. I'm looking at it through my human eyes.
Right.
So how can I shift this? What is it trying to tell me? How do I fix this perception? So perception is a huge part. It's like you said, you can only see who you are.
Right.
And that goes back down to your truth. Everybody lives in a world of their truth. And once you realize that you live in your world of your truth, the hardest part is to pull yourself into a truth that's really true to you, not because what you thought was true, or what people, even the society, what everybody say is true. Because I talked about this in my video with finances. Just because the world is going through, I don't know, some type of crisis or some type of financial dip, there are people, like during COVID.
Talk about it, because I ain't one of them.
Y'all can claim that stuff if y'all want to.
I am not one of them.
Just like when COVID happened, all them people, yes, it was happening. Yes, that did affect people. But there is still a consciousness and a wavelength that you can tap into, still that supersedes economy. It's God. It's the God frequency. And there were a lot of, you know how many millionaires were made in that year?
Yes.
Do you know how many people were able to buy homes? It's astonishing.
They were not operating from the perspective of lack.
Yes. That perspective of lack and scarcity, I think it is so scary. And I told you, especially in the middle class lens, because, let me tell you, it's the small talk every day. Oh, well, I don't have enough. And you'll hear it. And to me, it's so triggering. That's why I said I'm like hypersensitive. Yeah. Because now I'm able to identify my true belief and what I really believe to be true versus just a narrative that's just being told. Right. And that makes me a lot more aware of my surroundings.
Well, that's even like with my situation. I went back home and I'm like, I'm going to just save money so I can buy a house. But everything has a cost. And so what am I willing to pay for my peace? And so it's that, and then it's also too, you can afford the rent. You just don't want to pay it.
Yeah, that part.
So, and he helped me realize that, because I was literally just sitting like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't stay here no more. I gotta get out.
Yeah.
But sis, you pay the rent and all the other stuff. Cause I bought that car and I'm like, I bought this car. I'm finna stay home till I pay this car off. I'm not finna go in. Cause I always, for some reason, I kept telling myself like, I have a car payment. I can't afford rent.
Wow. So you've been able to tell that. And you know, it's the crazy things that we tell ourselves. And you go back, you be like, why did I believe that craziness?
Right.
But that's the perception. That's where you were at the moment. And you were talking about how it's changed. That is proof of the evolution of your mind and your perception changing, because you've been able to shift and say, whoa, wait, I can do this. I've just been telling myself from a place of scarcity.
Yes. But it also highlights, which I'm gonna talk about this too, how we need each other. Because you see, like, had it not been for your husband, you wouldn't have come into the knowing.
Yeah. Yeah, that part. That's huge.
We need each other. And
yes.
So a lot of the talk on social media is about, I want a 6-figure, 6 foot. What else that be saying? 6 inches. 6. They want all of it. The number 666 in numerology, the number 666 really tells you that you need to stop.
Yep.
Take a beat.
Yep.
And recalibrate your thoughts. And this is what they asking for.
Yeah. Let me tell you, that is the balance. That's the dual balance. And remember that there is always a yin and a yang. As above, so below. You cannot, I mean, yes, there are people who are here to do their journey by themselves. But if you are here and you have a teammate, you have somebody who's on this path with you, they are there for a reason. There is so many parts of their being that completes you, that pulls things out of you. And that partnership is huge. It's so foundational.
Yes, because we need each other. We are human beings and we commune with other people.
Yes.
That is how we operate.
Yes. Even this commune together and being able to, this is how you find your soul tribe, and you find people who resonate with you. And that's been a huge part. I feel like I've been so isolated.
Me too.
I know it's hard. That part, it's like the only person you got is like, I got my husband, and I'm sure you got your boyfriend, but it's like, other than that, it's like, where are the people that think like I think?
Right.
Where's the people where are the people that I can learn from? Like, I feel like I always got to be in the teaching part, and that's that first.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
What baby tell you? Say you can't save everybody.
Yeah.
And you can't tell grown people what to do.
That's right. That's right. That part.
And I have to remember that. Because the oldest daughter syndrome will literally have you feeling and thinking that you're responsible for everything and everybody and their well-being.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
You're not.
Especially when you get so much, like, you understand that you do have valid points and people can understand your perception at times. It'll make you feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be making sure that I cover and help this person, help that person, and help them heal. And it will really trick you into that.
And then it's like, but how much time and energy are you spending on yourself? And do you take that same amount and spend it on yourself? Because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely. That's something I was definitely really, really guilty of, is pouring from an empty cup. I would literally, and that was part of my nervous system. I had to recalibrate my nervous system. It would go into that my pleasing came from pleasing other people and not really pleasing myself. So I literally would sacrifice my happiness, my well-being, and just something that I don't even, half the time I don't even be believing the stuff that I be doing for other people, but because I just felt the need to help, that was something I really had to fix and balance. Because, like, girl, you can show up for people in different ways. You know that, right? You don't have to give your arm, give your leg, and sacrifice so much of your mental wellness in order to show up for people. You can, send a text. You can, hey, let's meet for lunch. You don't have to literally drop everything and come save everybody.
That part.
I always like to play Captain Save a Hoe. I'm like, girl, you gotta stop crying.
Don't save her.
She don't want to be saved. Like, that part. Girl, child. And after a while, you'll realize, like, okay, Alex, that is not your job.
Right. Well, I still have to tell myself that, because he be telling me, like, you can't tell grown people what to do, because I be trying to tell him what to do.
Well, he said that even apply for me too. I love that.
Okay, so Okay, we gonna go a little deeper.
Okay, okay.
'Cause one thing about Tiffany,
Okay.
she like to go to the deepest parts
Okay, all
of
right.
things.
All right. We that was that little loosen up our little what do you call it? Your warm up round.
Little warm up.
Okay, okay.
Warm up.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you feel when you look into the eyes of your children? And do you see anything? And if so, what do you see?
Jesus. Whew. Y'all, when you look into the eyes of your babies, oh, y'all gonna make me get emotional.
That's okay.
Lord have mercy. You see everything you are supposed to become for them. And when I say that, it is, oh my goodness. When you look, okay, having children makes you look at all the that's why I do my shadow work, because it's like this person deserves everything, and if I'm not able to provide it for them, that's something that I have to fix,
Right.
because that child is deserving, and not only deserving, their spirit will let you know what they need, and you have to meet them where that spirit is. I think when I had Channing, Channing was a different spiritual awakening. It was during the Anthony Browder part, so I was really, really early on with my spiritual development. Like I said, around 2015. We were still doing everything very much in a traditional sense. I was figuring it out, but my life was still very much in the lens of African-American person from Tallahassee, Florida. Like, you know, I would operate sometimes a little bit outside of it. But Channing was the person that just ushered me into how to be a good parent.
Okay.
Just good basic parental skills. He was the one that just, I understood I keep my child safe. I understood, because you know, he was, I'm so glad Channing came first and we chose it that way. Channing was easy, he was soft, he was very, very easy to love. So he just showed me how to show up as a mom. But Miss Evie, right?
She gonna give you a run for your money.
Even the way she came into this world, we chose Mexico for her to come in. That is a huge shift of perception and understanding, you know, how to show up for this person. The fact that she even chose that lets you know a lot about her spirit. So, and my kids are,
That's interesting.
yeah. That's, okay, so let's break that part down. When kids come into, because remember we chose this.
Right.
So they chose, we chose, and I have to always remember that. She chose, we made this decision to say, I'll be born during this time, during this phase of your life, because it's supposed to bring in this new what? Evolution.
Right.
Right? So her birth was a huge, like I had one jump with Channing, and then she took me to the level of where we are really trying to get to into ascend. Her perception of looking at her, she challenges me in such a vibrational way, because me and Evie are connected vibrationally, very, very tethered. I can literally like tell based off of her cry, her like her needs and her wants. It really helps me channel how to show up for her. Like for instance, when I was going through a stressful time with her, I could feel that, because I breastfeed Evie as well. I could feel that energy was sinking through her, and that I needed to give her more grounding and stimulation in her nervous system. Right. Because when she came, I was a little stressed out. Obviously being in Mexico is a little stressful. So I realized that she kind of came in a little bit of a stressful, not environment, but just a little bit more survival mode. So I really had to help her get her nervous system in order. But that actually let me it showed me how my nervous system and how I need to show up in order to be a good parent for her and for Channing. And that's a new calibration as well, because you go from one kid to two children that needs, different things at different times, and you have to be able to hold that space for both of them, because they're always evolving and growing. I think your children is your biggest teacher. And like you just said, we don't want to admit it, but our children, Evie, Ray, and Channing, they already light years ahead of me. There's things that I don't even have to tell Channing, he just knows. I don't have to go into this whole religion and cry. He's just like, Mama, I know that. Look, I already know I can create. I already know that the world is mental. He knows that stuff.
That's amazing. Wow.
They come here with so much information, and I allow my children to lead me. Just like I lead them, I allow Channing Channing, what do you want? What do you desire? Because I'm only here to just help keep you safe and to usher you into the highest version of yourself. Right. That's my job. To keep you safe and help you become the person you're supposed to become without me getting in the way from especially from an ego standpoint. Right. I cannot get in. If Channing wants to go be a preacher at the church on the corner and that's what he came here to do, I'm going to support it. If Channing is supposed to be in the monk on the hill in the Himalayas, I'm going to support it. Okay. Who am I to tell my child what that person? We play God too much. We play God too much.
Playing with God.
Playing with God. Like you cannot, I don't have that type of power. Yes, we need to be able to, like you said, have the role where we understand our parents and it's respect boundary. But I can't tell that boy what he wants. I can't tell that boy what he believes to be true and what he desires. That's not my role.
Yeah. Okay. What do you see in the eyes of your kids?
Lord, I see the world. I see potential. I see love, unconditional love. And how, that's what I'm trying to say. They will let you know how you need to show up and what unconditional love really is. Because there's times where even from just being a parent day in and day out, your patience is tested. It still shows you, oh, I have to have this much love. Oh, my capacity has to go to, oh, I thought it was this. Wow, I gotta have this much more patience because she's having a fit, the dog's over here, Channing need help with his homework, and I still gotta hold it all together. Not to mean that we don't crash out as parents, you know, everybody have a moment, but
go in the car and cry.
Yeah, you definitely gotta go in the car and cry for a minute. But it just comes back and say, wow, God wants me to have this much love. And that's rewarding. It's like, okay, that means I can hold this. I'm capable of holding this space for my children. So it's amazing.
This is my next question. What do you think motherhood has called you to be that you weren't already?
Motherhood has called me, whoa. I feel like motherhood has called me, it kind of goes back to what you said, just becoming the highest version of yourself. I really do feel like it ushers in a new sense of, it's like you on a whole new mission. It's like not Mission Impossible, it's Mission Possible, because you know you can get there. It seems impossible. It seems impossible. But I believe that these children, they have showed me, oh goodness, they have really showed me how to operate from a sense of faith, a different sense of faith over fear. You know why? Because their spirits and how they operate through this world is more childlike. It's gotten me to where I could be more childlike in my adulthood. I don't have to, it's almost like when you see them, good, I'm just happy, like I'm having a little deja vu moment here. When you are looking at these children and how free they are and how they're connected to God, because of their, you know, they haven't been so burdened down by the ego of the world, right? All of these things that we throw on our kids, they haven't been burdened down by that. So when you see that connection that they have, it just reminds you of just how childlike you're supposed to be. I'm getting back to that. It's helping me get back to old Alex, the things that I love. Dancing, being funny, being goofy, being that childlike energy. Like, it is so fun to be like, like, let's go do this, and not have so much judgment on yourself, because I think for a while the world got like real serious with how you got to show up. You got to be, oh my goodness. And now I kind of feel like things are taking a change to where I can see more people on the internet expressing themselves in a really like authentic way. And it's not so serious. It's not so fine-tuned and so much judgment. And I love that the world is going that way. I feel like we are expanding that heart chakra with a lot more forgiveness and a lot more grace. So it allows you to kind of just be more of who you really are. I think they really ushered in the authentic version of myself.
I think I can relate to showing up as your authentic self, because I feel like, you know, for so long I always talked about how I was awkward and all that type of stuff. But it's like, well, that's just who I am.
That's who I am.
That's who I am.
And you've been able to embrace that.
So we gonna be awkward.
And I don't even think you're awkward. I never thought you were awkward. I think, I think you think you were awkward based off of like how people operated. And I think it's the tribe thing. Once you find your tribe, you don't feel awkward. You just feel normal.
That's true. That's true.
Because in certain people, I'm just like, okay,
trying to be cool.
Yes, that, right?
I'm literally not cool. I'm like the antithesis of cool.
Yes. And that's the part that I love. I feel like we were super goofy, super ourselves.
Yep.
I feel like we could transform if we needed to adapt. I'm an adaptable person, but the real like core of me, man, y'all going somewhere. I go over here by myself. I'll go with this little clique and call it a day.
Right. Okay. So last question is, what are some things that you look forward to in the future as it relates to your family?
Wow. I look forward to providing for my family in a way to where I don't have to think twice about anything. That is my new goal. That is my new mission, is to where I have options. Everything comes with options. Because I think I've showed up in the loving way. I've showed up in the physical way. Like I said, I can take care of some kids. Like the girl can take care of some kids. That is, I'm gonna make it work. Especially, like I said, going over to Mexico, it really put me and my husband, we was like, oh, you can put us anywhere. We got this.
That's amazing.
Yes, it tested us so much. We were able to show up in our children in ways we didn't even know. We didn't even know we could do that. We didn't even know that our bodies and our minds could sync in a way to be able to help these children thrive, not even survive, thrive in a different country. It was so beautiful. So now it's like, yes, now it's like, okay, we've done the survival. We know we can make it work. We can make some shape. Okay, now it's time to live like kings and queens. Now it's time to usher in the wealth frequency. Now it's time to usher in that, that real money code. And that's where we are now. We're calling in the millions. We're calling in the multi-millions.
Right.
And that's this path that I'm excited to, because honestly, don't get it twisted now. It's nice to be able to be spiritual and be all this woke and all this stuff, but like my boy, I love Nero Knowledge.
I don't even know who that is.
He's great.
Okay, I don't have to look him up.
Nero, I'm gonna send you his page. But he was like, what's the purpose of all this stuff when you can't transform your life? What's the purpose of knowing this, knowing that? Yeah, you can know all this stuff, but guess what? You still sitting in the same reality. You still in the same house, same apartment, same broke, same.
Right.
What's the point of all the information if you actually cannot change your reality?
Right.
My point is to actually change my reality. Quantum leap change my reality. That is the point. Now it's like, because that connection with spirituality is abundance. Don't separate the two. And people want to make it seem like, oh, the money. No, we want the money too.
We want the money too.
We want the money too. Let's not get it twisted. So that new part of my life is all about financial wealth. Strictly financial wealth. And that's where we are now. Me and my husband, relationship, love, lock. Parenting, lock. We got that stuff on lock. That's light work. Now we're ushering into something that's new that our parents, our generational, our lineage has never seen before. We've never experienced to be able to say that I can pay for my parents' home. I can buy this in cash. I can go tour on this trip while I'm also have my business. I can give my kids this option to go. It's options. I want to have options. I want to be able to say I got the chef that come and help me cook. I can cook. I know I can cook.
You sound like my sister. That's that Leo Queen energy.
Yes, like I know I can cook. I cook all the time. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Y'all. I can vouch. She can cook. I remember back in the day.
We know that, but I want to take it easy. This back part of my life, I really am bringing in the ease.
Yeah, I have this mantra that I used to say, and it was easy, easy. My life is gonna be easy.
Oh, I love that.
Easy. And I used to just say that.
I love
all
that.
the time.
I love
got a
that.
bunch of mantras.
I love that.
I'll put you on game. But I can relate to that in terms of, like coming from a place where you feel like you don't have enough.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, I done did that. Universe, come on, show me something different now. I've mastered that.
Yes.
I know what that's like.
Yes.
Now we on to something different.
And a huge part that I talk about on my page is when you're asking for that part, you got to get ready for God to show you the complete opposite so you can calibrate to what you're asking for. It's like, hey, God, I want this person to be in my life, right? Okay, well, in order for God to bring you that person, it's going to show you everything. And it may not be a lot. It could be one thing. It could be a million things. But you got to get ready to alchemize whatever it is for you to get into alignment with what you're asking for. And that's the part that scares people. And that's why they don't.
They run away. They run away. I can't do this. I'm not doing this. Hard. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen.
Yep. And that is the trick. That's the devil. Now that is the trick of the mind that will keep you from. And I think I have gotten, like you said, a little motto. Let me make sure I get it right. I'm trying to think. It's almost like I'm allowed to hold this much God. I think I kind of that's how I said. I'm gonna have to go find the quote, but it was basically saying like we're so used to God being we're so used to experiencing God from a limited perception, right? It's very limited and it's very structured on how we experience God's presence. I'm realizing that God is so much bigger. It's so beautiful of how infinite the energy of creation is. And what I'm telling myself is I'm allowed to experience that much of God. I don't have to experience God through just this one vision, this tunnel. I can get the whole thing. And guess what? And I can hold it. I can hold it. I can mentally hold it. I can spiritually hold it. And guess what? My body can hold it. I have to tell my body it's safe for you to have this. We've been in such a flight or flight mode to where we've so cut off from, certain levels of abundance. And you cannot tap into that stuff if you are in survival mode. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So that's what I'm excited for. Just being able to do things and have a very authentic life. I'm excited. You know what it is too? I'm so excited about this new version. I'm excited to get to know the aspects of Alex that I don't know.
Right.
Like, it's so much of myself I don't even know who I am because I haven't reached that pinnacle yet, right? When you get to those options, you get to that stuff, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know I like skiing. I didn't know I like, okay, I do like this type of food. I do like this type of experience. That's the version that I'm excited to become.
Well, one point that I wanted to make was that when you start to do the spiritual work and the work on the inside, the shadow work, and all the other stuff, everything else falls into place.
Yes.
So you can say, here go another one, ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. And every time the ching, money comes to me from the top, left, right, and up under me. When it flows in, it flows so abundantly. Wave, 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 I'm a money wave. Money come, money go, money save. Flowing in and out plus money save. That, all that to say. You can say that till you blue in the face. But if you're not doing your soul work, you'll never see it.
You will never see it. Never see it. And I think that's the part of reality that we missed, is that you can pray on the altar all day, you can ask all day, but if your subconscious mind and the root of your faith is still based in fear, and you don't really believe that you are worthy of those things, those things will never come. I don't care how much praying, how much oil, how many times you go commune, you can go, it will not come. The tithes, the offerings. And if it does come, it's only going to come in the ways that you are vibrationally open to it. That's why with the middle class thing, it comes sometimes when you want it, but not always when you need it. That is the part, is because we are cut off and we're not allowed, we're conditioned, our body is conditioned to receive money in a certain type of flow. That's the part I realized, that you have to be open to say, like, I can deserve money in ease. I can receive money in ease. I don't have to clock in 9 to 5 to get money. Money can come in all kind of ways.
But also when you put yourself into the context of, like, it's like a whole bunch of people that's in your bloodline that's looking at you right now, that's rooting for you to figure it out. Pressure but no pressure. Okay. Right. Pressure but no pressure. And so I think about that in terms of, like, our ancestors and all the things that they went through. And even so, where it's like, it's 2025. It ain't no reason for us to be out here, can't figure it out, can't find a way, can't pay for this, can't pay. We can figure it out.
We can figure it out.
You can do anything.
Tiffany, the resources we have, the world we live in versus when we first came out of college, do you know?
Somebody should have had a class for YouTube. How to build a successful YouTube channel.
How to build a successful YouTube channel. You know how easy it is to monetize your life?
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy insane that you can build a fortune from building your own personal network. Basically, you have a network, a channel that people can dial in, tune into you as if they tune into Fox News. They can tune into you. They can tune into you, and you can get paid for that.
And nobody has to green light you to do it. All you got to do is green light yourself.
You got to green light yourself. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, but then the other part is like the people that find you, they know you, as in they're on the same wavelength as you.
Yes.
So you run into other people that are like-minded.
Yes.
And so that's amazing and cool also.
Yes. And I think that comes with being visible. I had a real hard time with visibility for a while. Like I said, I shut myself in. I was very private because I felt like we went through such a judgmental phase in the world where it was like, I don't want to show anything. I want to protect it because I feel like it's so much fluff. It's so much, you got to show up this way. And if it's not this way, then, you know, I protected myself from that and my family from that. So, but now it's like, okay, it's time. It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Even with me, like, you know, going through social anxiety, like I very much so went through shit, probably about 2 or 3 years, 5 years, maybe more than that, of isolation. Just me and myself, trying to figure it out.
So what do you tell yourself these days? Like, how are you able to show up for yourself?
My therapist told me, she said, when you get ready to leave, you get your car keys and your phone and all that. You get your phone, your car keys, you get your anxiety, you put it in your purse, you bring it with you.
I love that. I love that.
And so I just carry it with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that I make space for it more so than I just am stuck in it, but I just bring it with me. Because it's just a part of my experience of who I am at this point.
Absolutely.
And I'm either going to, as Joe would say, barbecue or meal do.
Yeah. And we ain't got time for that. Like, we ain't got time for that.
We too old to be meal doing.
No, we done made it this far. Ain't nobody about to crash out for real. We'll crash out for fake.
Right.
We may need a minute to recalibrate, but who about to give up?
Yeah, we don't. No, it ain't no giving up.
I
told myself that even when I was like the lowest point of my life. I'm like, I'm never giving up. Because why? I'm still alive. Why would I give up?
You might as well put your work towards faith, even when you're faking it, because sometimes you gotta fake it. Like, I don't really believe this right now, but I'm going to do what I know God would want me to do, how God would want me to show up until I'm really on board with this.
Right, but it has to be, you gotta have good intentions. You can't be out here trying to harm people and think something good gonna come.
Yes.
But when he know that you trying, he'll make it.
Absolutely. And I believe intention is so huge.
Yes, it is.
When you know you're coming from a pure, honest place of love, that's what honestly gives you the faith, and it gives you the courage. It gives you courage.
Yes.
Because you're like, I know for sure that I'm doing, even if I don't have all the answers right now, I know from what I'm standing on, it's rooted in God.
Right.
And it's rooted in my true self and how I want to show up.
And I'm trying.
And that's enough. And that's enough.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
Sacred Seed TV.
Y'all go check out my girl. Check out her page.
Check out my friend Alex's channel. Her channel is